Wow, bad news. So it is being reported that Daniel Kinahan, advisor of Tyson Fury and Terence Crawford, was paid up to $2 million or better for Tyson Fury's last 4 fights. But ironically, Bob Arum recently stated that Crawford doesn't do his fair share of promotion. And I'll explain that in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Now, I made several videos about this. Make sure you guys follow along for the conversation. The latest and greatest. Daniel Kinahan, they're saying he's a nefarious, basically drug lord and, leader of a cartel, gangster, a mobster, right? And he's tried to sports wash his identity, money laundering, a bunch of other things. You guys can look that up on Google. Google is your best friend. So I've made videos about this. Recently, when it all came down is when the U.S. Treasury got involved and the United States put a $5 million bounty on Daniel Kinahan's head. So it's at crazy times like this where you see who your real friends are, because immediately once that news came out, there's a lot of people who either went radio silent or they started turning, like Bob Arum. Bob Arum started saying, hey, this relationship with Kenichi wasn't working and we were looking to cut ties, etc. So Bob Arum did an interview with Yahoo Sports and he's completely trying to separate his business. Now, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but this is like America's Most Wanted type of stuff. It's not every day that the U.S. Treasury and the DEA want someone so bad to the point where they're going to put up upwards of $5 million, maybe even $15 million, I read, for somebody's capture and conviction. Like, yes, there's rewards for if you know who did this, but there's some people who've done some pretty sick and sinister things, and the reward money might be $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 if you're lucky. So this goes to show you that they want to apprehend him badly. So with Bob Arum now coming out and saying that he worked with Kenichi, which we already knew, and that Kenichi was getting paid $1 million, $2 million for Tyson Fury's last fight. So fights with Otto Wallin and Tom Schwarzenegger. Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, call me when the governor gets there. Yeah. Like, he fighting all these guys, the Wilder fights. Bob Arum is admitting on record that in this crazy time where they're looking for him, Tyson Fury and Terence Crawford's advisor, they're looking for him, as I mentioned, and Bob Arum's admitting that he was getting $1-2 million a pop for consultation. Now, the thing that is crazy, and nobody seems to be talking about this in general, but Bob Arum has said disparaging things where he has thrown Terence Bud Crawford, his former fighter who is now suing him. He's thrown him under the bus, and Bob Arum has stated that Terence Crawford needs to be more like Teofimo, the likes of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. Make yourself a brand. And he was saying this when Terence Crawford was still under contract, which was only ended after the Shawn Porter fight, which was November, December of last year, 2021. So Bob Arum was exceptionally critical of Terence Crawford's ability to sell and also get him marquee names. I remember there's an interview where Bob Arum says he was willing at first to only pay Shawn Porter $1 million, to which the Porters, Kenny and Shawn, said it's not getting done for $1 million. We'll fight Crawford, but not for $1 million. So fast forward to the future with this new information. Bob Arum has been in boxing for God knows how long, 60s, 70s. He's a 90-year-old man, right? So he's been in boxing all this time. Why on earth would, if you're a promoter who's been in boxing since the 60s, 70s, during the Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard days, then how is Daniel Kinahan getting $1 million for consultation? What are you consulting with him when you have been in boxing longer than he's been in boxing, right? Boxing is something he's trying to get into, and they're saying he's trying to get into it as a means of money laundering and sports washing to clean up his reputation for his past, or things he's supposed to be connected to. So again, my question is, what kind of consultation would you need from somebody who's been in the industry a lot less time than you have. The MTK wasn't founded when Bob Arum was doing Top Rank and came out with Top Rank, or working with Muhammad Ali's and stuff like that. So that's just insane to think, and it really grows legs for Terence Crawford's argument as a lawsuit and a suit that Terence Crawford saying he wasn't appropriately pushed as a premier marquee name and star and given opportunities, and it kind of sheds water. Plus, Terence Crawford, his lawsuit is alleging there was an Errol Spence provision that if Top Rank could not secure the Errol Spence fight within a year of the Mean Machine fight, then they would owe Crawford almost $1 million. So to hear this news that Top Rank and Bob Arum had a working relationship with a reported crime lord who has a $5 million bounty on their head, and they weren't willing to pay the likes of Sean Porter more than $1 million at first. Crawford said he didn't get his money for the Errol Spence provision since Top Rank was unable and there was an inability to secure the Errol Spence fight. It just makes you wonder, how was Daniel Kinahan getting $1, $2, $4 million or whatever you were paying him that you're now reporting? And the other thing that's crazy is that Bob Arum is trying to distance himself and his company from Daniel Kinahan, but there's interviews where they said he's like, oh, Daniel Kinahan's one of my favorite guys, and everything was like peachy keen. So, you know, this whole situation looks a mess. And I watched the Republic of Ireland, or Garda, it was one of them, and they came out with a news break, and they basically said they're only in phase 1 of this investigation, and they're trying to scale things up. So it's only for that side and that faction, it's only going to get more intense. The pressures are going to continue to grow. And you already have people, if you guys have followed the case, you already have people that have already been apprehended and sentenced that were in cahoots or alleged to do these same things and, you know, be a part of this crime gang that produce all these notorious and nefarious crimes. Some of them already been caught, and they had like subpoenas and they had wiretaps and got access to a lot of intel. So this whole situation is going to blow up in people's face. And it's ironic because Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, oh my God, to this day, was saying that Tyson Fury was a cheater, and it fell on deaf ears. Myself and only a select few people would even consider this. But now when we're finding out more and more details about who Tyson Fury and Top Rank are in bed with, you know, who they're working with, it raises a lot of eyebrows and it raises a lot of questions. So Wilder's whole accusation saying Terence Crawford's old promoter, or he really just said that Tyson Fury was crooked, it's not looking so crazy right now. In my view, it's not looking that crazy. A lot of people, they try to undermine Wilder, said, oh, you just get over it, you lost, shut up, you're a bum, stuff like that. But I mean, look who Tyson Fury's running with. It's not every day that the U.S. Treasury will put out a $5 million. Actually, I challenge anybody in this that's hearing this video, I challenge you to let me know currently in 2022 another person that has a $5 to $15 million bounty from the DEA, and that's wanted. I mean, we're talking about like El Chapo type of characters, Pablo Escobar type of characters, that they're going to produce this type of reward. Because the way the Fed, like, I'm not a federale, but I'm smart enough to know the way it works is, at the end of the day, if they feel you're attached to all this crime and drama and whatever, it's collateral damage. We'd rather give somebody $5 million to snitch or point you out and, you know, try you before the court of law. So, I mean, this whole situation is getting crazy. It's getting crazy, but it begs a lot of questions. Why was Bob Arum, you know, penny pinching to get Sean Porter, or not paying Terence Crawford, or complaining that he had to pay Terence Crawford $4 million, but then there's an Irish crime lord and you're now turning on him and saying like, oh, it wasn't working anyway, but you had no problem paying him $1 million to $4 million. I mean, this situation don't sound legit to me, but you guys let me know in the comment section. Last 30 days, 50% of you guys that watch my content subscribe. The other 50% had not. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps full-time content creators such as myself in a phenomenal way. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. I'll stay on top of these issues and all other issues in the sport of boxing. This is your #1 shop. But it looks like it's about to get ugly. Sam Cassell. Drop your thoughts in the comment section as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.